Good afternoon, our viewers. Welcome to today's episode of Women at the Front Lines. We are delighted and very grateful that you've joined us this afternoon. We are very, very excited to be receiving you. As usual, this is our program, which we showcase every Saturday, 2 to 4 o'clock. And we bring to you women who have excelled, who are exceptional, who are impactful across Uganda, but also where possible across the region. So this afternoon, we are delighted to bring to you an exceptional woman, and I'm going to be introducing her. But we'd like you to share our stories. They can inspire someone anywhere who is interested in making change and creating that change and being an exceptional leader. Share our story with anyone that you know in that perspective. Also join our discussion on our media channels and promote our program, because we know along the way we shall be impacting a life or two in this show. So I would like to welcome you this afternoon. My name is Monicah Amoding, and today we have Dr. Lina Zedriga. Yes, from the National Unity Platform Party. Have I done it well?
Absolutely.
Is it for Northern Uganda? We see you a lot close with the party president.
Yes.
Actually, you're the right hand.
Yeah, thank you.
Something like that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honourable
You're welcome.
Monicah, and my sister in the struggle from the times of the
Civil
said of
society,
it.
yes.
Yes, and then but now my land friend. Wow.
Well,
you are another exceptional
That's
woman.
value addition to the women. And the country.
Yeah, thank you so much, the team of the civic space.
Yeah.
That this afternoon we're here holding conversations. Yes, my name is Lina Zedriga Abuku, doctor. I hold a PhD in transitional justice.
Wow.
I'm a practicing lawyer.
Wow.
I'm a mother and a very proud grandmother.
Wow.
And a practicing Catholic.
Wow.
I love my faith. I say my rosary. It's just not, it has given me a lot of energy.
Very few people can do that.
I do
proudly.
You can even see. I believe
commendable.
Mother Mary is all.
Wow.
I believe so much.
That's nice.
I practice my faith, but of course I also respect those in other faith and work a lot with faith-based organizations. I come from the civil society. With my birth, I was born in West Nile, Arua.
Proudly.
Proudly.
West Nile.
Yes, West Nile.
Original African.
And our time, the culture of the girls being less accepted. What has she produced? That one has produced a girl.
And another.
And you know. But what has she produced? Oh, she has delivered a man, a boy. You
and
know,
the celebrations would start.
But then the energy. But anyway, I came at the time, my parents, but they are both deceased now, Magdalena Yotaro and Carlo Abuku, who was a teacher, vernacular primary school teacher. I born the third born and the only girl then, and also the only person remaining of the family by then.
What?
The two boys both died.
Gone.
Yeah, they both died.
Wow.
But I'm glad I brought up also the children. And then I was the first girl from Vura, by the way, to go to a secondary school.
To go to a university, probably.
Not only university, to read the law.
You are the one who has always done fast.
Yes, and,
you know.
and it's very interesting because when I started primary school, in that village school in Arivu, then it is to Ochoko, then to Awalio Primary School, my village area. The classrooms were still grass touched, and we used to be taught, you know, how to brush our teeth. Yes, on the sand, on the sand. Okay, and in it, when I reached Peace 5, out of the many girls, apparently we were only 2 girls left. And I wasn't quite understanding it. And then primary school, 1974. I don't know where you were, but at least I was.
I was on the way.
And I was the only girl in the class because all the others had dropped out of school. That was the dropout rate.
It is interesting how it is. But I don't know if there is any difference now. The dropout rates are still the same. There are only 3 girls out of 10 from when they enroll who reach secondary level.
Can you imagine?
But is it still possible for a girl to make it to that level, university, the way you did in Uganda today?
It is even tougher.
Is that so?
It's even tougher right now with the new normal, with the COVID, with the fathers now even encroaching on girls.
Their own daughters.
To make them, it's like a conspiracy.
Wow.
And the current statistics is that, is it 14 million girls globally after the COVID will miss going back to school?
Wow.
That's a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And in Uganda alone, I think it's 4 million also. This is official statistics from the Ministry of Gender.
Yeah, and we are in 16 days of activism.
We're in 16 days of activism,
all this
orange the
information
world.
is flowing all
Yeah,
over.
but of course there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like for us, our generation, we ensure that the girls and the boys all go to the same school and stuff.
Wow.
So I'm proud my daughter, was able to graduate from Makerere and she's also herself married now.
Wow.
Yes.
So
yes,
you
know
are
her.
in the late somewhere now, about to receive grandchildren, and
I have 4 grandchildren already from the boys. The boys are married.
You've started telling us the things that we actually expected to hear from you, because our listeners there, perhaps some of them have known you in civil society.
Yes.
They have known you in the peace processes. You remember those,
Yes, the peace caravan, I remember.
And then, of course, in the academia, you also hold a portfolio in the academia. And now politics.
Yes.
And now politics. So I think we needed to know a little bit of Lina, and of course, this powerful woman. What I do know, when I started working with you some time back, when I joined civil society, and up to today, 2 things, laughter and energy.
Yes, a lot of it. Infectious.
When you come into the room, it is just those 2 things that will manifest first. You saturate the room with your energy, with your laughter. We are so delighted to be having you this afternoon. And if you've just joined us, this is Women at the Front Lines. Today we are delighted to host the indomitable Lina Zedriga from the NUP party.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
And she is a very interesting personality. Aside from the politics, there's a lot we need to pick from her in terms of her leadership journey. And she has begun right from there. Who is Lina? Where has she come from? Who is this great woman that we talk about? A few things we've heard from there. Now, I would like you to go a little bit into the politics. You have been cheering women like us.
Yes.
In politics.
Training, jumping on lorries to go to a park.
Outside.
Yes. And
outside the politics.
Them, the Anites, taking them under. Yes.
Now you are in politics, Lina.
Yeah.
You are in politics.
Now I'm in.
How is it?
Yes. Thank you so much. Before the how is it? You remember I used to tell the women, some of us were just signposts. So when you're signpost, you don't end up in the hotel. You point people to that direction. So now come 2016, I stood. I was a very ardent member of the Democratic Party, DP.
Before. Okay.
I ran, and I am this person who believes so much in the direct seat. So I stood for Vura
County.
Yes, against the minister.
Did you attempt?
Of state.
Oh.
Did I attempt?
Oh.
I ran, and I strongly believe I won.
That was 2016.
Yes, under the Democratic Party in Vura. Yes, it was very interesting. It was very interesting.
Yes.
And then after that, I felt, I think I don't so much actually belong here. Let me go back to civil society and academia.
Yeah.
Because I teach in quite a number of other, I lecture in a number of other
universities.
And I'm accredited by Harvard University, by Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. Yeah, it's a very, for research, and then also the University of Addis Ababa.
In Ethiopia?
Yeah. And also, I used to lecture in Victoria University, Gulu University.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're doing quite a lot.
Mine is a passion. So then I said, no more politics. Lina, go back and just
do
be
your
a
best.
catechist. No, I wanted to be a catechist because I saw that behind me in Arivu, there were no women who were coming up focused to study. My mother passed on the 15th of December. This year will make 2 years.
Oh, sorry.
And she passed on, and she said she has gotten her ticket. May her soul rest in peace.
To heaven.
Yeah. So then when we went for her burial, send-off, at the trading center in Arivu, one of my cousin brothers were very close with the priest. And then I saw young girls at the funeral, very young girls. And then I asked them, but you people, where are the mothers of these children you are carrying? You kids, you are carrying children. They said, we are the parents.
Hey.
I said, yes,
children
12,
carrying
30
children
in the village.
Yeah. It's a common
That gave
phenomenon
me
right
a
now
wake-up
everywhere.
call.
Yes.
I said, now, how many girls do we have in secondary school? Almost none.
Almost none.
Everybody, the other one got married, the other one eloped, the other one, the other one now is it in Saudi Arabia? Or,
Yes.
I said, wait a minute.
That is the reality.
Actually, I forgot about my mother's burial. I decided now, Lina, what are you going to do to impact? You need to do something real. So I decided.
And for an activist, that can cause some, instability in you.
I just said, Father, what we do, I am coming back. To December, I went back in January.
This year.
2019, 2020,
2019.
Then I said, okay, I'm now going to be a catechist. I enrolled there. Yeah, I wanted to be a catechist, use the Catholic Church to make sure that, and also I go to teach in primary school. Go and teach in the primary school and tell them, look, this is where I used to sit. Yes, look, if I can be this global phenomenon, what is it that at 14, 15 you are doing with a man?
In 2021. That was long ago in 1970 something.
Exactly.
Imagine.
Exactly.
Yes.
So then, that was 2019, December. And then 2020, as the wave of people power was really moving
building
on,
up.
February, one of the girls that had attended the forward
alumni training,
Rita, may her
leadership
soul
training.
rest in peace. They were coming to court.
Wow.
And she was knocked by a police car at Nakawa. That for me was the game changer. That was now between me and not going to Arrivo and not being a catechist, by the way.
Wow.
If Rita was alive by now, I would be a catechist. Okay? So when that happened, then we were coming back from the burial, and then Daniel is shot. I said, Lina, I think out of your closet, enough is enough. These are kids.
You came out of the table, under the table
we held
phenomena.
A women's press conference at the then People Power office in Kamocha, and organized by Honourable Flavia now. And of course, we've been in forward and stuff.
Yes.
So then I spoke. I said, enough is enough. In fact, that video went viral. Enough is enough. Come out of your closet right now, especially the women of Uganda. Now, the children are the ones doing righting our wrongs. Shame on all the women who in the closets. Come out. I have also come out. When His Excellency watched that video, he was out of the country. He flew into Uganda. They came home to visit me with Flavia, with his beautiful wife, an intelligent Babi, and the Secretary General, and Rahma. The delegation came to
Rahma here.
Yes, they came home
as
and I served them with the chwa. You know chwa?
What is chwa?
The Jews and then they had here, and one Honourable Kasiano had just stepped away from being the coordinator north, and Bosmigo team also had stepped up. So he came home and he was trying to see whether there would really be now a closer in terms of the Northern Uganda coordination. So February. And he comes home to do a surveillance with the team, and then before I know it, he's posing a question: would you be able to be my coordinator
in the region?
Uganda? Yes. Then I said,
let me think about it.
Let me pray. Not even think. I'm going to Chibeho. I'm going to pray about it.
Okay.
And indeed, I prayed about it. So the day there was this lockdown, the first lockdown. Then he invites me home. He invites me home. The wife invites me home for breakfast, and that was now sometime in March, early March. The day the first lockdown happened, I came to Market. Then in my impatience, it was supposed to be breakfast. You know me, very impatient. So he's still asking the question. Now, 9 days passed. Will you do the honor of being my? I said yes. I thought it coordinator Northern Uganda. He said, my deputy president. I had already said yes. And as a person of integrity, you cannot say no. Let me first go and pray again.
We were surprised.
The rest
but
is
we were pleasantly surprised because we knew you were a political person anyway.
Okay.
Not just civil society.
So then we have all these they had to do background check, due diligence, and so on. Because the moment somebody was mentioned or unveiled that time, these guys would go and they would go and buy this person off. So they were taking cautious steps, and of course based on the evidence. So April 8th, I was unveiled.
Wow.
And of course, the world, the rest is history. People have looked, searched, did whatever, and they have lifted the veils, they have lifted the skirts.
What they need to know is that they got quality. Quality. This is an academician.
Yes.
A senior
judicial officer at the ranks of a high court judge. But yes, yes, I was just now. It was between me and the man who now is like, you come and work with me. The Rosemary's, I went through that. So anyway,
and you come with a wealth of experience from those, you know, how so many hats that you carry. So we're really were surprised, but of course we know that NUP got a quality person in that position as a deputy president for North. Here we like to host such women. You know, in Teso, where I come from, there is a practice when someone is married into the new family. What they will do is to test your ability and strength by giving you to, you know, buy, or, you know, what is it called? Crushing the sorghum or something. Yes. And the way you walk around the homestead should be with power and strength. Yes. So that when your foot sets there, the grass or what, or the ground feels, you know, shakes. Yes. So that is what we do here. We want to get such women who go to places and they cause that impact, that change, no matter where you are, whichever political party you are in. Absolutely. But as a woman, what is your contribution? What is your contribution is the most important thing. Absolutely. So having joined NUP now, can you safely say that you are making that change? Absolutely. And you're not letting down the women?
Absolutely. Yeah. First of all, my passion is the participation, the meaningful participation of women in leadership and especially political space. Because in civil society, we all discovered that we're actually dancing outside the periphery and the diagosphere.
That's why I joined politics.
So, yes, that is where we need to be, at the center, because we said, you remember tuning to the democracy, okay? Yes, dancing to the tune.
Dancing to the tune.
We were saying as civil society, and so
we want to dance to a new beat now.
Yes, we were dancing in politics all along. Then halfway we saw. We didn't even know the rhythm. We didn't even know the music. And then we looked, and we even didn't know the partner.
You're dancing with.
Yes. Okay. And then I also said that if politics was like cooking food, bo, gobe, and so on,
those things.
a lot of the time we as women have been on the menu. They're eating us. And we think, yes, the last time, remember where we did an analysis and the reality check. Women were with the youth on the campaign materials.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
To make them beautiful.
They say, what we have tents and so on needed for the campaign. And then women to dance. The women to dance. And then the youth to do acrobatics. We became, long ago,
part of the
menu.
But not decision makers.
No.
Wow.
Yes, we are being eaten raw.
Out there. That's why we are saying on this program, we want women to rise. We want women to spread out. We want them to dominate.
Yes,
showcase yourselves. Present yourselves to the world.
Yeah, you're on the menu. You are part of the campaign materials. Then we said, no, I think there's something is wrong. We're we're being taken for granted. So then when we definitely we are making a big impact, like during the time of the campaign within a short time, because from the time of the unveiling of, the nomination.
Yes.
In Chiambogo, what happened? The militarization, the anti-terrorist group. And when you play that, rewind it,
the event.
I remember I removed my designer shoe, you know, me and the kitenges and the shoes.
African
because my president had been dragged out, duly nominated, and was being pushed in a military vehicle, okay? Because we were supposed to go and celebrate. Now they are taking our groom away. So I jumped out of the vehicle where I was with my colleagues, and I'm hanging the an anti-terrorist, very tall guy. You are not taking my president.
It had to be Lina to do that.
And when people heard that, the young people heard that, it was massive. At Magere, as they were battering us, then they had put him in a pickup. Our president, they wanted forcefully to take him in. Then somehow I got the message, he Please do not allow them to. I first ran and scattered myself on the gate. It was not enough. I came, I threw away the shoes. I jumped. I don't even, for us, we climbed. I was on top of the police
Oh
pickup.
my God.
I'm
The
telling
vice
you.
president of the party.
Yes. And
Wow.
then even when I was arrested.
Sometimes the circumstances require different interventions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even when I was arrested between Apache and not Noya. Noya, I think. Honourable among his place.
Village around there.
I was arrested. We were now in transition. Okay. My team was the advanced team going to Apache. We were intercepted by anti-terrorist group, men. One small car, when them were 5 people, they beat us up. You remember when they arrested me? The impact, about impact. So when my president had and came to the window of the police cell where I was imprisoned with men, arrested by military men, thrown at the back up, and then imprisoned in jail with men, 11th of November.
Cell.
Yes. And then I told him, he thought I was very miserable. Then I told him, Mr. President, you have no duty here. Proceed, these guys want to derail us. I can deal with this situation. The energy he got.
Wow.
It was like, it was. I told him, what are you doing here?
How can that even happen?
What is my president doing here?
In the same cell with men?
They did.
That's
how desperate these guys went. Yeah.
That is terrible.
Anyway,
so, I would like
to really am making from
impact of women in NUP.
Yes.
What are you doing there? What change? What voices are you taking of women in those political parties?
Absolutely. Now in our constitution, we have 4 positions of deputy presidents, and we are 2 women.
Oh.
Where else do you get that?
The other is from
Jolly. Honourable Jolly Mujisha.
Okay.
Barara, very powerful woman. And then, of course, we have Central also. And then we have the whole women's wing. In fact, the young women that have come on board and ran, and the influence is amazing. It really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting to politics.
In fact, now we even have a draft gender policy.
Already?
Yes. Yes, and code of conduct.
Wow. We would like more women in those political parties.
And we're getting even the sexual gender, the sexual harassment policy draft we also have in place.
But also going out to reach out to many more women to join. I hope that there is some work going on. Because we want more women in politics, regardless of the party they are in.
Yeah.
Those are vehicles.
Yeah, but of course we have, Honourable, we have a lot of challenges. For whatever reason.
I was expecting
to
hear that from you.
The militarization in terms of the participation this time is the women that have been arrested, they have gone through the most horrific experiences.
Wow.
The most horrific. The men that have been arrested have been, and many of them are still arrested. Of course, now you have a lot of pressure. Even me. People come, my in-laws, some of them are like, really now, even my friends, like, but we don't know. The last time we knew you don't smoke njaga, you don't. But I think you are drunk on something, because this is really death and life. Life and death. You understand? Yeah. So if you are weak-hearted, you hear that from your children.
Yes.
You will definitely run away. You will definitely. But of course, for me, it's a personal journey.
Wow.
Wow. I wouldn't want any other women to go through this.
What they are going through.
It's
in
bad.
Those opposition parties.
Bad.
Yes.
It is inhuman,
so how is it like
degrading, cruel?
Being in opposition parties and you are not a party in government.
Yeah.
How is that experience for women in politics?
Well, at whatever level, at the parliamentary level, of course, now the NUP is the alternative
government.
And then in the local governments, of course, we have quite. So when we do a regional scan, Buganda did so well. For whatever reason, they gave them a breathing space. I think it was it was deliberate. So up north, of course, we also have young women and others who are still coming up. The determination in terms of we want change, we want real change is very great. But of course, the militarization, the monetization, and the poverty levels now so high. And these are all realities.
And they affect women's participation.
So much. So much. But we are moving on, and we see young girls. You know what was the difference here in terms of women's participation? In Nakawa here, We have a woman from my place who used to sell menvu and bananas on her head on the
Would
streets.
like to host
Do you
her
know
one day.
she's
Yes.
here. We have demystified the fact that it's a preserve of a certain class of people to be representative. This woman, they used to have the problems with. She is now
In
a
council.
counselor.
Wow.
That was the difference that has come.
Wow.
Very young women have come. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot, of course, that you are still doing, knowing that your party is still young.
Very young.
Of course, there is still a lot.
Just one.
But as you are there, the reason why we want to see more women there is to increase women's participation, but qualitative participation as well. So we are glad to be hosting you, talking about your participation in politics, but from a political party angle. Now, we do know, Dr. Lina, that you're a very, very highly qualified woman and balanced in life.
Thank you.
You do a lot in academia, you do a lot in civil society.
In fact, even right now I'm supervising like 3-4 people doing PhD.
You know,
yeah.
You decided to leave the judicial work for a while.
Yeah,
of course, you can always get back there. But we want to pick from you how it is like to balance that life. You know.
Thank you.
Because that's a question we battle with as
know.
professional women.
I
and
don't
trying
even
to
know
make
whether
it big
it is
in life.
balanced. I remember last time
balancing
the
wheel of life.
Now balancing my identity and my whatever. First,
Blending.
I'm a mother
Yes.
of 5 children. The youngest is now doing pharmacy. By the way, none of them did law.
Wow.
And then I am here with my students. And then at one time I'm doing research. And then I'm with the civil society.
With the
still
civil
some.
society.
I think my
then you
one
are with
thing
the NUP
balancing it is believing in what I am doing, loving
what you are doing,
what I am doing, taking full responsibility
everything
for what I
you are
am doing
and standing
and keeping time.
I
will give you time and say, please, I will be there. And I wouldn't even want you to call me. Because there are some of us, what lets us down is I'll give you money.
Failing to prioritize.
You know, I'm going to be there at 3 o'clock. Then I'm not there. By 4, my phone is not there. Or I pick it and then I'm waving it that I'm on a border. Deceit. I try so much to be true to my words.
Yes.
Then I try so much to emulate what Mother Teresa says. Do the small things every day, but with very great love. Then I pray. I believe so much in prayers. And then I believe so much in letting go. I don't want to be bitter. Even if we have quarreled with you now.
Tonight,
in the next
tomorrow.
minute, we are going to have the granules or whatever together. I don't keep anything in my heart.
At least a few
I
things.
made 60 years old on September 8th.
Wow.
And yes, this year with all my but I laugh a lot. I let go. And when I'm really angry, I really get angry and I don't hide it. I will scream, by the way. But it ends there.
Wow.
I don't go over to sleep with it. And then too, I work a lot with young people.
Okay.
I like to mentor. I like to associate with young people like the forward leadership program from
Alumni.
the time done, which is consortium now it is. And I love doing it. So I enjoy doing it.
Wow.
Yes, I do it with passion. Whatever I do, even if I'm laughing, I do it with passion.
So it gives you, passion takes you further.
Yes.
It takes you further in life than, you know, the qualifications
and
that we have and all that.
Like when during the campaigns, my Harrier and the small car were all crashed off-road. And right now, I jump on boda
and move.
I jump on the night bus. I mean, vehicles that deliver newspapers. If I have to be in, I'm now unstoppable.
Yeah.
I don't limit myself with anything.
Limit yourself
I do not, and I'm not in a box.
Wow.
You know, many of us age ungracefully because we box ourselves. Oh, so and so should do. Oh, to Yambe. You see, Monicah, this is the person I was working with. I need her to. No.
I need a push.
No.
You're so independent.
No, Agasi.
Oh.
I'm so independent.
Wow.
When I want, like now, if I want to reach the center of the town, and I'm a biker too. I put you on the back of my bicycle, motorcycle, and I ride you.
Wow, I would like actually to follow those questions with your healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
That would have come at the tail end, but you have started
passion,
that discussion as
drive,
well.
And I keep my
word.
I get angry, but I don't keep grudges. I have no grudge against anybody. And I confess my sins almost every other
All
week.
the
I
time.
confess, I take it to the priest.
Which is good.
Let the
Because
priest
then you are
bear
at peace
this
with
dirt.
God, you are at peace with man. So who can be against you? No one. Okay, Lina, we are going to get back to that personal area, personal development and growth. It's very, very important. Let's first get done with the very important questions in terms of your contribution to the women's movement. Our viewers who are joining us now, we are with Lina Zedriga, but we don't like titles out here. It's only in certain places. So the doctor will not be so much, but I know she wouldn't even prefer being called Dr. Lina. It's just Lina. Lina Zedriga is the vice president of NUP, and we have known her as a civil society activist, a fighter for women's rights, a liberator of women, and now she is in politics as well, but with a rich wealth and experience in other sectors. I would like to pick from you, being someone who I found in the women's movement, and you are still working, even probably stronger and harder than I am right now. It's been a journey in terms of women's liberation in Uganda and across the continent. I would like to pick your thoughts around that area. What do you feel has worked or we have tried in terms of achievement as women leaders, activists? What can we count down as achievements this far? And maybe what we have not done well, what more needs to be done in the next years.
Thank you so much, Honourable. Actually, constitutionally, our title is the deputy president.
Wow.
Deputy president.
Not vice.
No, it is the deputy president, and it is deliberate.
It's deliberate.
In terms of the women's movement, I think I remember the early 80s, and for me it was also still another personal journey, because as a person who was piloting the family and children's courts
at that time,
that time, you remember? That's also how I ended up drafting the
rules
of domestic. Yes, and you see, what opened my mind in terms of the contribution to women thing, this is somebody very big, a chancellor somewhere, respected, and then has impregnated the sweeper. And now doesn't want to associate. Does not want to associate with this woman. It comes in a tinted car in my court.
In the night, in the night, in the
and then he's hiring the most expensive lawyer, but he's not giving money. Not even a coin for this kid. And then the woman is walking back, matching the court and Luzira court where we were piloting this thing. The most, and I would always, with the due respect, end up giving them at least something. Sometimes the child is too sick.
Wow.
So for me, that opened my eyes in terms of now really moving from court to do real activism. To represent them. Okay, rather than staying in and then say my hands are tied. My hands, your hands cannot be tied.
Of course, they call us crazy women when they say activists.
Disgruntled. And yet we're the happiest women. So for me, from that time, we managed to have the late Justice Chikonyogo, the Deputy Chief Justice of Uganda, may her soul rest in peace, because of those realities around women in the leadership positions, even the judiciary professional, and they would even sometimes question our judgment that this one was, we are appealing because she was emotional as a woman.
She made a bad
we now had the different professional women coming together.
Wow.
First was only Akford, and thanks to the WCS, Dr. Miriam Atembes, what is her name? I will remember her name. These are women who inspired us, and then the breakthrough was 1974. 1994, the time of the constitutional making process.
Yes, it brought
the
you
winning
together.
Honourable Winnie Byanyimaz, and we worked together beyond the Honourable Cecilio Gwals, and so women were very interested,
organizing.
And we had that whole chapter 4 where we had Article 32 and Article 33.
Yes.
They did not come on a silver platter. Women of Uganda worked across. They really did. We left our different identities and stripped them and just became women of Uganda together.
Okay.
That for me it spoke very well. And then that unity, of course, we had the mentorship programs.
The
then we
organizing,
had,
the,
FIDA also going to schools to recruit, to inspire. You know, we used to be called upon to go and you dress as a judicial officer, you go to a secondary school. Which girl would not want to be her worship? My Lord, her worship was here. That was practically inspiring these girls.
Wow.
And then going to the universities and speaking, of course, wearing very nicely. You know, for us, we need to see and touch. But this is no longer happening. It's not happening. We just need to, please let me dress in my gown and what? We go to one of your schools. I'm telling you. Yes, and it came around also as I conclude. The practical way of inspiring,
young
recruiting, mentoring, sustaining, linking to the opportunities
that are available.
I would not care whether you are from Buganda, whether you're a woman, you're a girl. And then coming up with the trainings on even legislations, for example, and even training other judges, you know, the jurisprudence of equality project, which I piloted. Yes, in judiciary. Yes, for us it was deliberate. For us it was collective. Yes, and then we would get people like as Miriam Matembe come over to train the girls, and then this camp, alternative and transformative leadership, the power of my dream.
Wow.
You see, for the girls. Yes!
I can envision
absolutely.
The power
so that,
of my dream.
Yes, that practical thing of inspiring and recruiting, and we would love doing it. We really would love doing it. So yes, we have made a lot of contribution as the women.
Certainly.
Yeah, then we used to work across, for example, with the UMWA. Yes, with the Margaret Sentamus and so on. We would come, go speak, and it was nice. And then when, may her soul rest in peace, Sharma Cookie. You remember the case of the Indian lady?
Yes,
it was Easter.
Okay.
And then
she was killed.
The way we escaped from our homes and we were in solidarity with the Indian Women Association. Here somewhere on that near game. Near game. What is that Muslim? That Indian. The Indian burial ground where they burn.
Yes.
And then we appeared there. The people decide that solidarity. We escaped from our homes. It was Easter
in the night.
During the day, they were now going to light the fire. The solidarity with these women.
Okay.
And before we knew it, Engineer Winnie Byanyima was there. I arrived. Miriam Matembe, Justice Sikonyogo. These people started escaping because they were going to do something very illegal to destroy evidence. That's then we followed up the case in court, and in solidarity, this man was convicted of
murder.
Yes, Cookie.
I don't know which degree.
I'm telling you. And we would not first say, where's the brown envelope? You are making your contribution, you know? So that is how much we were committed, and we still are committed. Yes.
So
we have made a lot,
training, mentorship, being focused as women,
and also documentation. Documentation, because Forward, Uonet, and this lady
Umwa,
who
you talked of Umwa.
Umwa, yes, Umwa, and what? Akina Mama of Africa and the rest, also that leadership training.
Okay.
Yes,
very good.
I'm
an alumni of that.
Yes, I also am. Okay. So what happened is the documentation. The Rhoda Kalemas would come and you say, wow. You know, to speak to us. And then we had, in 2014, some organization documented the stories of 100 incredible women.
In Uganda or in the world?
In Uganda. In Uganda.
Wow.
Yes. And that book is so big. It's I think $380,000 or $300 somewhere in Aristoc. It's there.
Great.
And you read the stories, you really love it.
Wow.
So we need to continue to document. Then we need to take these conversations to the women, like we call it Tayat. Akua. At the district level.
At the lowest level. So now you are speaking to the future.
Yes,
you are saying what we need to do more.
Yes, what we need to do more is
and
to
in a
link
different
this
way.
Beyond.
Yes.
Yeah, we do not have to limit this only here. Yes, we now need to, make sure that the celebrations, we need to celebrate.
The other day I saw a group launching village to village campaign on 16 days during this week. In Rukunjiri somewhere.
Yes, in Rukunjiri. And for me, I was in Gulu. We're also launching. We are launching and having the public dialogue. We have been training the model men.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something where they model men and we train them in nurturing.
Wow.
And yeah, it's called the Men Engage program.
Wow.
Very exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
We are hoping to take the men of parliament through the feminist theory to help them understand why we talk about these things and why we say we must continue to give a voice to women who cannot speak out. Activism, in other words. And so we want to also pick your thoughts. Of course, you are asking us to do more, but to go to the villages and do more organizing around the women's work and be committed and continue to speak. I think, yes, we need to be reignited. There is some bit of stealthy, you know, or slow spirit that has taken over.
That's why for me, my passion is, even right now, tonight, I just said before this, tonight I'm leaving, I'm going to Aru. Actually, my passion is working in the grassroots. In the
grassroots down there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Well, we also wanted to pick your mind around issues of security and women. We know you did a lot during the 90s. And the early 2000s when we had the conflict in the north and all that. There was a lot to your name that you did in that area. And of course, we said now we are having an expert in that area. We must find out and pick her thoughts around the issues that are now affecting our country. Of course, conflict. We have the terror attacks here and there. But now this one seems to be sucking in the whole region in the Great Lakes in this conflict. I don't know what your take is. What are your thoughts to this matter?
It is very, very critical because with security, we are all affected and infected or insecurity for that matter.
Especially women.
I did. We mobilized beyond top down and bottom up and vertical to make sure women were involved, visible and present in the Juba peace process. And women did a lot, by the way, when you look at the 5 agenda items that were signed. And so we know that when we come together beyond party colors and so on, there's so much. In fact, for us as women, the analysis that we should even leave those other identities of colors and parties and so for some time. Because when it comes to
the women's cause,
to labor, when it comes to rape, this guy will not say, you speak Lugwara, you speak English. Now, so you know, you are now a new lawyer, or not, my labor pain is going to be worse. No, you even scream worse than me. You know? So that is the basic identity for us as women. And then when we did an analysis, why women? Why women's participation and security? When we did an analysis, when it comes to the domestic violence, it is across. Although now also reverse is true. We have seen 44% of men are also affected. Now they survive the victims.
Economic Times.
44, by the way.
The Economic Times.
Because those days they say, you know, the violence against us is because this man is poor, they are in the village and so on. No,
in Kampala.
Leaves the woman and then goes to a lawyer, by the way, and go actually somewhere around here. And so then the woman was like, where are you coming from? He was crawling back to the bed. You know the issues of domestic violence. A very accomplished man sneaking from. So you see the emotional issues. And then she said, where are you coming from? She actually said, why are you crawling? That was what, we were saying. Why are you crawling? He was sweating and they said, this is my house. If I want to crawl, I'll crawl. If I want to walk, I'll. Now that you have talked to me, let me walk up. And he started walking back. And we have seen men in high places being, burnt with. You understand the humanity about. So, for us, in terms of the security, it affects everybody. Whether in the house, whether it's human security or national security or whatever, we are the basic identities that we are women. And indeed, the solution also is us. Because you have seen the security people struggling even to implement the SOPs. They are shooting people dead
because of SOPs.
So yes, so now as women, we found out and we implemented that when we come together to socialize, when we come together to map the way as provided under women peace
our community.
Yes, and we talk to our children, our husbands, or our spouses, or whoever. They do listen. They actually do listen. Teso, the Amuka boys, West Nile Bank front. Yeah, women were the negotiators in this thing. So for sure, in my view, these terrorists have some women in their life. So it's very important that these women are involved in making sure that, you know, this thing ends. Because we also want a peaceful
We are
society.
more affected.
Yeah, we are
as
more
women.
affected as women and infected.
Yeah.
These are either our sons
But
or
I've
our
not
spouses.
heard the
or
voices
yeah.
of women react in this matter. You know,
Yeah.
security issues right now, intelligence issues are just being manned by, you know, police and the UPDF.
Mismanaged by the they tell a blatant lie. There's one, I don't even know which part of hell he will burn in. A blatant lie. But of course, there's also not only lack of information, but a possible analysis that actually this could also be done by the security people themselves. We have seen it on social media.
That is the conspiracy
You understand?
theory.
Yes.
You know, we call them conspiracy.
Yes.
But
Yes.
they,
Yes.
you know, people have to question
We
things.
totally
Yeah.
condemn. We totally, as life givers,
Mm.
condemn anything that destroys
Society
life.
and life. Yeah.
We totally condemn it. In totality. And I love it that my party comes out very vividly and says we're peace-loving. And yet with the bulge of the young people and energetic, you know.
I've not heard women speaking out on this matter.
No, we
yet,
need to speak. We need to speak about it's a very, you know, any insecurity anyway is a threat to security everywhere.
Absolutely.
We cannot say for us we are safe. Nobody is safe.
No one is safe.
Nobody is safe, not even the police.
No one.
Now, and today the ones being targeted by some of these people,
and
whoever
they have families
are.
they've left behind.
And these are also police
affected.
or military who are people's children, who are also people's husbands.
Those who are going to the forests of Congo.
Exactly.
They've left thousands of families back home.
We totally condemn anything that is militarized and it takes away life. It is wrong. The costs are just too much in terms of lives and property.
So you are encouraging that the government would have utilized a negotiating approach.
Yes.
You know,
you remember when we established the civil military relationship and that also contributed to making sure that the Juba peace process because to build the confidence. Because right now there's a breach of confidence
in the public.
Because I did the research recently. The young people say, me when I see them, I will actually, you know, either I run away or I also beat them back.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a video that went like that. Then I said, but why? But that's how they approach us. We have lost interest. We have lost confidence because the moment I say I know it's either me dead or him dead. So we need to rebuild the confidence
in the public.
These are citizens.
Wow.
We must rebuild the confidence
of the people.
That we coexist. We must. I don't know where Honourable Ali Romara is. We established with them the civil-military relationship where we hold dialogues, where we involve everybody in community security. For me, that is very critical. But where there's now a mistrust, then you say it is only the RDC, then the RDC has no whatever, and all he knows. They say that
the role of
when
the
only tool in your hand is a hammer, every problem now looks like
use a hammer.
Yes. So
even for a fly,
even for a fly,
wow.
even for your own nail,
Aye.
when the only tool you have is a gun, every problem
you'll use a
becomes a rebel.
Wow.
Or an enemy. You have seen how they're shooting 16-year-olds and, you know, to enforce the SOPs. I think this is unacceptable. We condemn it in totality.
Wow. Of course, I will allow you as a woman to speak about those things because we want the voices of women to come out in these matters.
Absolutely.
Very critical matters.
Absolutely.
I know your life and your journey is too rich. We can't even exhaust it in just this one interview. That's why we keep picking here and there. But we want to pick some important things for our listeners out there. And before I let you go, I would like to hear your thoughts on the future of this country and the future of the young people. Those two questions.
I love this. You know, I was the
what are your aspirations?
Yeah,
for this
principal investigator, the PI, with the Professor Sunday Angoma, and it was funded just last year, but one by Osrea under the IGAD, the Intergovernmental Authority. And
where is IGAD now? We can't hear them in
we are doing a research in Kenya, in the IGAD countries, but specifically Kenya and Uganda, and it was Youth Inclusive Mechanism for Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism in the IGAD region. And that question, where is the future We were in Garissa, we were in here in Kisenyi. We went to all the places and in Makerere and up north, and we just were asking the question.
Down south.
Among others, what is your future to the
Mhm.
young? Many young people were saying, for me, when I opened the door, I know my future is in the coffin.
What?
Yes, because I'm unemployed. Don't even know where I'm going to eat. So either my future is in the hospital bed because I'll be, knocked
Hospitalized
down or
knocked
something,
down.
or or in Butabika,
Mhm.
or in police, or in the coffin.
Isn't that alarmist, Dr.
Exactly,
Lina?
exactly. The report is out. The
Mhm.
report, Kenya and Uganda.
Mm.
Then we said, but why? I have studied. I don't even have an employment. There's a girl who says, I have studied. All the men have slept with me. They have not even given me the job.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's happening.
The report is there. Monicah, I'm telling you, the situation is so bad. So bad. And as a lecturer, and as a woman,
And
as
a
a mother,
Mm.
I have also seen the use of drugs, njaga,
Mm.
in universities.
Mm.
Somehow went very, very high.
Mhm.
It went, but we are living, burying our heads down. Of course, we have the few that are still saying as well, but the level of unemployment had
Wow.
skyrocketed. And then the means of employment in terms of either you have to buy. In fact, in Kenya, there's one who says, when you are going to, you hear they're recruiting the police, you have to wear socks, but then you put a number, you put a figure, put a figure in your feet, say maybe 300,000 or something, so that when you remove and there's a drill where they'll say in the recruitment, then you raise your leg. When you raise your leg, it will show this person the amount you are going to give him.
And then you'll be picked
and
automatically.
I thought this is a lie. They said no, it is happening. And then even here in the interviews, there's a lot to do with either sex or monetization or a cheat from Mama Lina.
Wow.
Because so it has gone a bit higher than we really think it is happening.
Wow.
And of course our education is such that we are very dependent. It's not liberating. It's very so
job
the future of this country, as we let me now talk for as women, but also as NUP, would have depended so much on implementing the 3 A's plus 1.
What is that?
Academic. Yes, but if I am dense, but I am talented in other things, so there's academics, there's arts. Yes, there's academics, there's arts, and then there's athletics.
Okay.
Injikurus. The Kipsiros.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's give prominence to all this as we're raising children from primary. We identify their talents. If this person is a very good, makes me laugh most of the time, and so, for example, if my talent of making people laugh was identified long, I would have been a billionaire. I would have been a billionaire.
You'd be in comedy.
Hey,
yes.
I would be a billionaire.
But there is something about West Nilers and comedy. I think there is a talent there.
So we are saying the 3 A's: athletics, academics, and arts.
Yeah.
And so then we're saying plus 1, that is employment. We need to really be robust in this and deliberate, because the white collar thing, a lawyer and so on and so forth.
There are very few jobs.
Exactly. So, but athletics,
you are alone in
academics,
your league.
Yes. Yeah, and arts, drama, and all this, you end up really developing, nurturing these people. And you know the Serena Williams.
Very rich
which
and
university
wealthy.
did they go to? But aren't they the richest people here? So that is something we need to really think through as the future. Then too, this thing of now us becoming our daughter Monicah, I think she has to send us dependency.
The dependency ratio is too high. We all suffer from
For
that.
me, I'm going to produce, but I will push them to you. You are my aunt. Actually, I'm pushing them to you by right.
Of course.
By right. You see this kind of, and you are yourself struggling. Now I'm pushing the children from the village to you. Okay? I think that dependency and the mentality that somebody else has to take
care of
take
your
care
children.
of my whatever. Really, we need to rethink it. Okay?
That you're talking about family planning then?
Not only family planning, socialization and raising.
Okay.
And, you know, yeah. So we need really to look at the 3 A's. And then we need to, and also something that is relevant. You see, something that is very. Look at our land. Look at, but right now the land grab issues and then the impunities around. We need to reverse the issue of relationships and the issue of accountability, the issue of inclusion, the issue. Yeah, we need to reverse that, because when you go to court, justice is not accessible
for any other person.
It's not.
It's
so
not cheap.
Then I think, need to go into our spiritual lives and pray.
Pray for
we
the country.
really need to pray for the country.
Wow.
Whether that's why
I didn't expect that to come from
no.
I thought you talk academics.
No. There's academics, but there's the spiritual bit. Let me tell you, because of the COVID, all bars were open, brothels were open, and churches and mosques were closed. I did not went. I went to court.
About that?
Yes.
Wow.
You Google, I went to court.
That's interesting.
Yes, to open, and we mobilized, and somehow we are glad that, because the World Health Organization acknowledges that the community-based psychosocial support, emotional support, actually are schools and places of worship.
Absolutely. I think I agree with you on that. And while I was in Parliament, I also raised the motion for the reopening of churches.
Yeah.
We are all passionate about church.
And then finally, this thing where we have been put in boxes and in walls, you only think, cut and paste. We must be very creative. We must break down those walls. I come from a background where one of the girls who I was mentoring, she was to do internship with me, and she had gotten a first-class degree in law. So we were supposed to do
internship.
Yeah, we are now going to court. She was to draft a plaint. Do you know, cutting and pasting even the name of the plaintiff, of the complainant.
She could not write a
from
plaint.
a land matter to a family matter.
Wow.
So for me, that was an eye-opener. We must do something about the massive. People are learning by rumors. Schools are going through our children and grandchildren. We must reclaim that, like we did. We went through schools. But now schools are going through our children and grandchildren.
Transformation of the curriculum.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
we need to do it by choice. And we do not have to wait for somebody. We started in our own way.
But there's a whole lot of
absolutely, and documenting these journeys and then benchmarking with where it has. For example, Tanzania and others. We need to look outside and see where has it worked, where where employment and human dignity, human identity. Where people have lost even their identity and dignity.
Forgive me, I need to pick this thought from you again, because you've just tickled my mind regarding now what we are talking about, the post-COVID, issues. How do we recover from that? But of course, in our line of discussion, the girl child, we are told, the reports are saying over 1,000 are pregnant in every district or more. But I'm putting out at the basic, 1,000 in every district. Now we can imagine 146 districts in Uganda. So we have 146,000 girls plus who have dropped out of school because of pregnancy. I mean, the situation is hopeless.
It is very hopeless, so much hopeless, let me tell you. Yesterday, one of my colleagues were sharing with me that when the head of Uganda, President Museveni, went on radio and said, it is okay to have children, to have these girls at home and get pregnant, but they will, but not to go to school and die. An 11-year-old girl innocently goes to the father and says, "Father, now, Daddy, Museveni has said it is okay. So can you first allow me to get pregnant?" You see the interpretation.
Then go back to school.
Yeah, you see the interpretation. So we have normalized. We have normalized something that is totally unacceptable. It's okay for these girls to get pregnant or even be raped by their father. The statistics are very worrying and very hopeless. We have erased consciously, deliberately, scores of generations.
Wow.
It's scary.
That is intense.
It is
One or
scary.
two things we must do as we wind up. What should we
So,
do now way forward?
One, we
Lina?
don't remain in the book of Lamentations. We go to the Acts of the Apostles and deliver in the book of Revelation deliberately.
Yes.
Let each person, each organization, the media do the recovery.
Yes.
Yeah, and then too, we need to model also the girls who have resisted. We need to model, because we now need to look at what is it that the other one failed at 12 and then this one, for her at least, she kept, she kept pace and had hope in the 2 years. And then the other ones, it is also the parents, some of the mothers now giving these girls to the men.
Pushing them.
Yes. It is there.
So it's a holistic approach.
It is a holistic approach.
We should involve everyone
So
again.
now we need to first own up to this, and we need to do an accountability audit.
Taking stock.
Yes, taking stock.
Where we have gone wrong.
Exactly.
What has gone wrong in our society.
Yeah.
We thought we had done something as activists and the country generally in terms of its policies and all that, but there is a whole reversal. So we need to do more. We need to go now to the basic unit, the family. Okay? Desperation should never make you push your girl child to the streets. Wow.
No, it should not.
Wow.
It should not.
Wow.
It should not. So we need to see that we document the stories, the positive stories, and share these stories. We need to encourage the people. We need also to use the possible entities. You remember when you were still in civil society and they said they trusted the places, the institutions of worship and the cultural institutions. Let us make them regain their centrality in society, in terms of information sharing
of violence against women.
Yeah.
Wow. We want to thank you so much, Dr. Lina. But I just want to close here. But I want one thing or one word to the young leader. Because in this show, we are asking for women to rise.
Yes.
I would like you to speak to a young woman. One or thing, one lesson or one, thought to them. We are growing young leaders of women here.
Thank you so much. The young women out there, you are a leader, and leadership takes a lot of sacrifices. Your body is a temple
of God,
of sanctity and God. You need to make sure that, one, you do not go for cheap popularity or cheap soda, cheap kabalagala. No, because when you go for that, you are going to spoil the opportunity, close the opportunity of you serving other people. Those. Two, be very resilient, be very prayerful, be very focused, have your own dream and go for that dream.
The power
Do
of
not
the dream.
read for me or for her but for yourself. What is it you like to be, so that you create a space like Lina's, like Monicah in the future for you to speak and inspire. It's very important. It can be done, and please take up leadership positions. Do not settle less than your dignity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lina. We've been talking to Dr. Lina Zedriga, a very impactful woman, very inspirational, very aggressive in her leadership. I don't know how many more words we can use to describe her. She's given us just a snippet of her life, but there is a lot more that we've not heard. But a few things that she has spoken today, I think they can inspire somebody. They can spur you to do something in your journey, especially in the area of women's leadership that we talk about, liberation of women, advancement of women in this country. But as we talk about our stories here, we pray that you who is watching, who is listening, you also get inspired to rise wherever you are, to take your space. And when you get that space, dominate, impact it, transform it, change it. That is the reason why we are here. And especially as women, that is our calling from God. That when you are called out as a woman, you must cause change wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching this afternoon. I know that you'll join us in the next episode. This is Women at the Front Lines. We'd like to thank Civic Space TV for giving us the opportunity to engage and to give us another voice to speak out. Spaces of engagement now are limited, so we have to create our own spaces. Thank you so much, CCG and Great Lakes Institute of Strategic Studies. Those are our supporters in this program. And of course, the wider women's movement in these discussions that we have here. Would like to sign out today. We'll see you next time. I hope you'll remain blessed. Shalom.